It's like, it's not about the minimum requirement. You didn't need your money. You didn't need your math skill. He wants your obedience. And so what he's looking for is somebody that's not coming to see how little they can get by with and still make it to heaven. It's not the deal. It's an all-in deal.
That's right.
It's really quiet in this Presbyterian church. Next time. Why did he say, it is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer? Everybody say prayer.
Prayer.
But of course, he didn't realize that we'd have the internet. Right? And all this real cool technology. I'm sure we can build a new cart now to put that ark on. That's much more efficient than prayer. And you know what he said about that? And I think this is interesting because he said, you've made my house a den of thieves. Everybody say thieves. Now see, I got a picture in my mind about what a thief is, but John 10 tells me expressly what a thief is. Yeah. Next page. He said, the thief does not come except to kill, steal, and destroy. But I come that you may have life and have more abundant. We used to I always quote this and say, that's the devil. It is, but not the way you think. Because verse number 1 says, a thief is anybody trying to get to me another way.
Oh.
What's Satan offer Jesus? I'll give you this whole world. I'll give you the kingdoms of this world. Just worship me. You don't even have to go through that cross. You don't even have to go to hell. You just do it my way, buddy. And I'll keep you from all that pain and all that discomfort.
Yeah.
You know what that is by definition? Just religion. Religion is how much can you do and get to God. You know what that answer is? 0. He did it all so he could come to you.
Yes.
Am I with me? Yes. Keep going again. Well, here's these. I'm going to give you 3 points of point and illustration that you have by noon. These are the outer bands. There's the things that just kind of give us the idea that we're serving God, but we have never yet come to his heart. It's a place where I feel like I'm still doing God a favor by going to church.
Okay.
It's all attempts to obtain the kingdom by any other means other than the blood of Jesus. Works, programs, rituals that are intended to impress or self-depravity. Like, I can pray for 4 hours. Well, that's great. Hold your breath while you're doing it. Whatever. The time that you pray or the length of the time that you fast is not impressing God. And it's not intended to impress others. It's to get you in a position where God can talk to you. Religion, claiming a relationship with God but having no fruit to show for it. Going through the motions of worship. Church, calling ourselves believers even though we don't believe anything. Keeping our God stuff separate so as to not interfere with our everyday life. You know the biggest devils I got to fight? Is travel ball and proms. And every other thing that comes along. If we treated our relationship with God like we treat our job, 40-hour job, how long would we have that job? Next page. I'll quit, man. Let's go. Matthew 21. Everybody say then. Then the blind and the lame came to him in the temple and healed them. Let me just go ahead and cut to the chase. I went out to Bethel and I got really messed up. Because when I walked in the building, it looked like us. Everything. Just bigger. I was expecting to walk in and have my hair blown off and walk in and feel the aura and the halos around people. Because it's Bethel. Bill Johnson and Jesus Culture and all those people. And I walked in and I go, this is us. The Lord said if everybody in your church won 10 people, it would be you tomorrow. If you win 10, but how many of us are thinking about winning 10? If we would set our goal, what would happen in this next year if we set a goal and say, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to be the one that reaches 10 people this year for Jesus. And I'm going to start praying and God's going to put them in my path. What would happen to our city? What would happen to our county if we weren't trying to corral people and get them in a place, but get them to the core?
Yes.
Get them to the heart of God.
Yes.
So they can go get 10 and so forth and so on. I know you've heard me say this, but if everybody in this room were to take 2 people and disciple them this year to where they could then go and do likewise, and that's all you did, in your lifetime, 8 billion people come to know Jesus, the whole population of the earth. And that's without internet and TV and clowns.
Hey.
Rainbows and puppies. All we do is go loving people. But you know what we got to do? We got to get out of the outer bands and get to the core, to what matters to you. Yes. See, some of you think, well, that's the preacher. No, everybody should be in the center.
Yes.
There is no echelon. There's no, well, not one of you is not important and valuable to God. Not one of you is somebody that's a B player. You're supposed to be in the game.
Yes. But
you see yourself out there doing something, and it's not important when I come or not. Well, I'm going to make it important when you come. My dad, they used to miss a Rotary Club meeting. They'd tie a goat up out in the yard. I'm thinking about bringing that back. It's your responsibility to feed the goat until you bring her back to church. I like that. Let's go do the goat ministry. Next page. Listen, I remember waking up that guy right outside my window. Jeremiah 29:13, right after he says that he has a plan for your life and he has a dream for you. What is all my heart? It's all of it. That's what it is. It's the way you seek him when you're in trouble.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Don't shout me down when I get your next page. I know what's going on here. Next page. Well, here's what I found out. Did everything I see at Bethel, was it 100% Holy Ghost? No. Absolutely not. But are you 100% Holy Ghost all the time? You just think you are.
No.
That's right. You think you're the only one that's hearing from God. Everybody else, that's flesh. Oh, that's not right. You don't know. Fix your own nasal drip before you go come over and rub my nose. Awesome. The trough is clean and pristine and manageable, and we can count everything, and everything works perfectly. And you know what we can design? Look at me. You can design a program to where we can have so much stuff going on, and so many people are active, and so much is going on, and God's not even in it.
Yes.
I found out when he shows up, when the power shows up, it gets ugly. It gets out of control. Then you go barking like dogs and gold dust and all this other stuff. And you know what? And we can sit back and go, I believe in all that. Good. Go ahead, unbeliever, and bring that spirit of unbelief in. Bring some kids in here. They'll believe it. And that's how we're supposed to become.
Yes.
But see, we've gotten so old and so wise, we think we know what's good and what's not. What's God and what's not. And I want to tell you something. The first thing we got to do is retire from the flesh police force.
Yes.
Next page. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead. God did not put you down here to fix all of us. Fix yourself. Am I 100% Holy Ghost? I try to be. But you know what? How am I going to ever? It's kind of like this. In the Bible, John could remember that he was the disciple that Jesus loved. But he couldn't seem to remember that Jesus rebuked him for calling down fire.
Yeah.
Peter didn't remember that John was the disciple that Jesus loved, but he couldn't remember that he outran John to the tomb. Moses writes and says, now Moses was the wisest man that ever lived. The best person that ever lived. Really, Moses? I know that's the Holy Ghost. I'm sorry. How can I separate who I am from who I am? How do I separate me from him? We're one. So there's parts that's going to be me. How come it is when you hear the voice of God, it sounds a lot like me in there? Because that's the only voice he's got. It's yours.
Yes.
But if we're all looking at each other, we got our eyes on the wrong thing. I'm just going to tell you, what I found out there was a bunch of people who are devoted to believing. And they're seeing healings. 3 people got healed, 2 people got healed right in front of me. Manifested right in front of me. And I'm looking around at a bunch of kids, a bunch of working people. Nobody had graduated from Bible college. Didn't have any kind of outward appearance that they had more sense to walk around in the rain than I did. But they had one thing. They were devoted to one thing. The presence. The presence.
Yes.
The presence. I want you to know that I'm devoted to one thing from here on. The presence. The presence. The presence. I'd rather have Him, and I'd rather him build that core than anything else. Because I'm going to tell you something, trying to fix people and try to motivate people is also exhausting. Because you know what? All you're doing is counseling devils till you get them to the middle.
Yes.
That's true.
That's a good word.
You're trying to canonize their sin instead of getting them to the place where they're forgiven and changed by the power that we seek. The power is the power to transform.
Right.
Y'all still with me? Next page. I got 2 more and I'll let you go. 1 Corinthians 13:12, he says, "For now we see through a glass dimly, but then face to face." In other words, until we get there, the best we can achieve is we're going to figure some of it out. We look through a glass dimly. We're reading through this 3-pound brain trying to figure out the universal truths in the Word of God. And I got news for you. If I can find my car keys, I'm happy.
Amen.
Because now I know, everybody say it with me, in part.
In part.
I don't care how smart you think you are, you don't know it all. And I don't care what you think you've seen before. That person is over here barking like a dog and screaming. You don't know what they're being delivered of. You don't have any idea what they're going through. So quit looking at them, Sister So-and-so, and raise your dang hands above that bun on your head.
Yes.
Raise your hand. You see, all too often our discernment is nothing more than personal preference and prejudice.
That's it.
Right.
How can it not be, Tim? We're all raised differently. We all, stuff that was so God for me may not even been God for anybody else. But it was God for me. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that from your side it may be all flesh, but for me it was the thing that spoke to my heart. So shut up.
Yes.
Yes.
Next page. If what you witness is 95% flesh, rejoice over the 5%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dance around with them, hoot and bark and do everything because they're getting free.
Yes.
Besides, it ain't none of your job to decide whether you're free or not. Did I with you this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
Tim Brandon, I tell this story all the time. It's like Tim told me he was a youth pastor at a church in Decatur, and it was all kind of country club like, and a lot of money, and he started going out and getting kids off the street, getting them saved. He said he was standing in a circle with a bunch of smelly kids, bikers, tattooed up, pierced everywhere, and they're sitting there weeping. And one of them said, "Man, Pastor, can I pray?" And the kid was just tears dripping off his face. He said, "God, I just want to effing thank you for saving me." Do you think God was offended by that? No. I think he was doing a lasso.
Yes.
Come on.
Now, I'm not telling you to add that to your prayer chant. Don't put that on your bead. Don't put the F bead on there. That's church always say it. You think God was moved by that?
Yes.
You think that there's so many people that could have killed that kid's walk in faith that they'd witnessed that and pinned him against the wall and said, "Don't use that kind of language up." Man, shut up. Why don't you go and turn your internet off?
All right.
Amen.
That's a good word.
That's why when Jesus got that woman that's caught in adultery, he's writing the names of the girlfriends in the dirt. Avalanche rocks. Next page. Last day's number 2. This is what I heard somebody say in the hall. Wasn't even a pastor. And if you don't get anything else today, it is impossible to pray in agreement with God's word and nothing happens. Doesn't that take away all that? Well, maybe it's not His will. And that, just shut up.
Yeah.
Just, you know why? I was healed in Bethel, California.
Yes, amen.
Have I still had pain? Sure. But I was healed in Bethel. But the moment I took surgery off of my plate and said I'm not having surgery, I received healing.
Yes.
I'm going to fight the good fight of faith. I'm just telling you right now, I was healed and I'm going to remain healed.
Yes.
Don't you pray this on yourself right now. Lord, I receive the thing I've been doubting you about, the thing I've been worried about, the thing I've been waffling about. I'm selling it today.
Yes.
I'm selling it. It's impossible for me to agree with you and nothing else. You know why? Because you never sent your word and it returned void.
Yes.
Emphasis on return. How does He send His word? How does it return?
We say it. Yes.
He doesn't just throw it out there and boomerang it. He's waiting for you to grab it and send it back. How many of you are ready to agree with it today? Father, we agree with you today that your word is true. I am healed by the stripes on Jesus' back. I was saved at Calvary. I received it. I'll never doubt it another day. I received by faith the word that you've given me. It's true. I thank you that I'm praying for my family, and they're all going to get born again. I thank you, Lord God, right now that you made me the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath. I'll no longer let the world dictate what is mine. I declare what is mine. I'm the king. I'm the priest. I'm the ambassador.
Yes.
Thank you, we receive it, Lord. Every move of God has one thing in common. Different places, different eras, different people. But I'll tell you the one thing they all have in common. Somebody began to pray.
Yes.
If I'm giving out pizza, I can get everybody here. We're not ready yet. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to start doing. We're going to probably be praying more than we do anything else.
Amen.
Now I want you to learn how to pray. Here's how you pray. You don't have to go get Larry Lee's 12 DVD set on how to pray. You don't have to memorize the Lord's Prayer and all them Hebrew words. All you got to do is be present.
Yes.
And available. Let Him wash over you. Adding your agreement to what His will is in your life. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. If you can't say anything else, we've just prayed.
Yes.
We've just made connections. Anybody with me in this?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you something, and it's probably going to get the flash police back on the squad. Some little girl came over to me, and her name tag was Joy. Duh. And she had balloons in her hair. And everything, I think I would just go away. She said, I think you need to be drunk in the spirit. I think, Debbie, I said, well, ain't nobody going to push me down. Okay?
I hear you.
Because after all, I'm on a veteran. There's this guy from Russia. His name was Martin. And he corrected me. He said, no, I'm not from Russia. I'm Armenian. I said, oh, okay, well, that helps. And Martin's gift was he carried around with him a presence that got you drunk. Now understand, I'm just trying to tell you that I was not about to do anything that wasn't of God. I walked over and I stood and I bowed up like, and all of a sudden my leg went, and I fell face forward on the floor. And they're trying to catch my big self, and because everybody's behind you. I just went, boom. And I'm telling you, when I thought, how'd that happen? I'm not kidding. And it was one of the things I was going, okay. Because I didn't fly 6 hours.
Come on now.
To go resist God. What would happen in this place if we set our clock a little early and got up and said, God, I'm not just going to show up at church so I don't feel guilty. I'm going to go on purpose.
Yes.
I'm going to add a little time to my day because I'm going to go dig in and pray. Because not only are you going to do me, but you're going to flow out of me and you're going to make changes in my family and in everybody else's around me because somebody decided to turn the switch off and plug in.
Amen.
Next page. You didn't think you'd make it. Next page. Final one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting out there, Kevin, and he speaks as clearly to me in my voice. And he said, I've been a Christian 35 years. And I got to thinking, have I ever really done this? He said, take your hands off your life. Let me be God. If I could give you one thing today, what is stressing you out? What is tearing you apart is you feel like I've got to do something. I've got to fix something. I've got to make something happen. I've got to be responsible for these things getting done, because if I don't do it, who will do it? And if I don't do it, what will happen if it doesn't get done? And God's saying, let go! Let go! Let me be God.
Yes.
Let go of your life and grab my hand. Father, I pray for this morning, that all these stresses and all these cares and all these things that are just killing us, that God's not asking us to do a better job today. He's asking us to let go. Let go. Lord, I don't understand. What happens if this doesn't work out? What am I going to do next? Let go. Let it go. Or I've got so many bills and the credits are coming. I can't get the pressure off. Let it go. What about my kids? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Can you stand with me this morning?